Advanced English Arabic Learning Session 45. Old or tattered clothes. I start my speech by supporting the no confidence motion. The local rag means a newspaper. He speaks indigenous language. A rag of colts roamed the moorland, a herd. Its Roman amphitheater seats 5,000 for concerts and the annual film festival. To be on the rag means to be menstruating. Discrimination against indigenous and ethnic minorities. Our five senses are basic ways through which we perceive the world. She went berserk. Spazzing out means wigged out. People often perceive that these illnesses only happen to older people. He didn't remember, and neither did I. Neither side of the brain is dominant over the other. Sweet and bitter mingled together, for there were no senses to perceive them. He doesn't eat and neither am I. Students generally perceive accounting as boring and dull. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. All the animals have been bred by me at one of my two properties. You became victim to a trap I set without a set schedule. She fretted about the cost of groceries. She read a verse from the book and she was well versed in literature. No need to fret, worry. That will help you to find the words and phrases that you need with ease. It was an innocuous question. These illustrative quotations are arranged in a single chronological sequence. You want to tussle? The police pulled the car over and tested the driver for alcohol. She's a great-looking chick. He is living neither chick nor child. A shovel was leaning against the wall. She pricked by love's thorns. I know I should stop smoking, don't get sure about it. He vaulted the banister. I just accepted what he told me, I never thought to question it. He was only doodling in the margin. The doctor said she'd make a quick recovery. The text was interspersed with doodles. Quote this reference, numbed respondents. President Press agreed with the decision. His bass voice rings out attractively. She said, and I quote, "Life is meaningless without love. It's freshwater base or saltwater base. Use your loaf." Don't quote me on this, but I think he is going to resign. By all means. He cited his heavy workload as the reason for his breakdown. My guts tell me. The company only dismisses its employees in cases of gross misconduct. Mighty oaks from tiny acorns grow. She took a deep breath to calm her racing pulse. I am sitting in the shitter. She leaned on the ship's rail and gazed out to sea. Knock it off. The volcano erupted, raining hot ash over a wide area. A loose tooth. The tasks have been ranked in order of difficulty. Wear your hair loose. She is currently the highest-ranked player in the world. The bull was loose with cattle in the field. Redeem these vouchers against a wide range of service providers. These skills used to be handed down from father to son. Most of his clothes were handed down to him by his older brother. A loose interpretation. The hounds have been loosed, set free, release. There were several expensive suits hanging in the wardrobe. Hang loose, baby. She had committed suicide by hanging herself from a beam. He trained as a roving reporter. His interest in guns started harmlessly enough, but later it became an obsession. Gussying up the home by gauze. It still exudes an air of mystery. has already stated his intention to run for election. He exuded good humor and bonhomie. There is no need to state the obvious. To foil a bank raid or a terrorist plot. He gave a loud belch. The bridge is reinforced with huge steel girders. Sea urchin. A steep decline in the birth rate. A flotilla of cargo boats, a small fleet. Sadly, after 8 years of marriage they had grown apart. The crickets chirped monotonously. Shady woods. As the boat moved down the river, the wind began to fill the sails. Lay off me. The vessel can be propelled by oars or sail. Youngsters on campus. Sheer determination will keep you going and you will do your best. Fancy footwork. Thorn snagged his sweater. He is to snagging us the best table. He spent most of his time skulking about the corridors, move stealthily or furtively. We were accused of skulking, shirk. Step aside for me. The soldiers were given orders to shoot on sight. We're going to Paris for the weekend to see the sights. Don't skulk outside the door like a spy. Attempts are being made to solve the problem of waste disposal. To get another jolt of energy. Stir the paint with a piece of wood or something similar. Incriminating evidence. He rolled up his sleeves and washed his hands. I'm sick of being jerked around. A beautifully groomed woman. He is, without the slightest doubt, the greatest living novelist. Your lawn keep the grass cut. She slipped over on the ice and broke her leg. I groomed you to take over the empire. As I ran up the stairs, my foot slipped and I fell. A Dutch nobleman of ancient lineage. Carnivores are usually socially complex mammals. The chimpanzee and gorilla lineages. Itchy, giving an uncomfortable feeling on your skin that makes you want to scratch. Her supple fingers. She is jumpy. The ability of a juror to determine a verdict. Deadbolt your door before sleep. We reserve the right to make such changes at our absolute discretion. Stop bottling up your feelings. The howling wind sounded like the wailing of lost souls. Long march to the grave. Common spices such as ginger and cinnamon. She was in a jovial mood. Fritters without any feta. Don't eat too many nuts, you'll spoil your appetite. His theories on economics are enough to make your head spin. I'm sorry to spring it on you, but I've been offered another job. He arrived with 3 of his cohorts. The idea for the novel sprang from a trip to India. He mumbles some prayers. If this suggestion isn't accepted, we'll be back to square one. Morels grow in a variety of places. There's been a white van sitting on my tail for the past 10 miles. This clock will neither gain nor lose a second. Most of the audience was on the verge of tears. I'll cauterize the wound. Summon someone for military service. No victor, no vanquished. Dread from dearth of resources. A virtuous circle has favorable results, while a vicious circle has detrimental results. But her success also brought vicious rumors about her gender. I do not shirk any responsibility in this matter. The trial was adjourned until later this month to prepare the defense. The crux of the play. Brevity is the soul of wit. The essence of a witty statement lies in its concise wording and delivery. The staff will edit manuscripts with a view to brevity and clarity. The brevity of human life. Speak of the devil and he doth appear. The thieves tried to take his wallet but he beat them off. Co-ed school. She blushed furiously at the memory of the conversation. Scientists are claiming a major breakthrough in the fight against cancer. The garden is planted with herbs. It was raining when we planted him. They questioned him for days before he cracked. Everyone clapped us when we went up to get our prize. She heard the crash of shattering glass as the vehicles collided. The seed of doubt is planted in his mind. The gun was planted in his room. The first distant crash of thunder shook the air. A man was crawling away from the burning wreckage. The conversation was in danger of wandering into forbidden territory. She briefed him on last week's decisions. Who flipped? For the first time in years, she felt in command of her life. Swirl a little cream into the soup. She turned up the radio to drown out the noise from next door. The end. Coming next. Session 46.